jumping straight into it, guys. First thing I'm starting off with, of course, covering up the counter. And in this clip right here, all I'm pretty much doing is bleaching the knots. I usually use the BW or the kaleidoscope, but I didn't have any of that. I thought I had some, but I didn't. So I went in with the Blonde Me by Schwarzkopf using 40 Developer. And don't judge my bowl that I'm using. I could not find any of my temp bowls. Like, I could not find none of my stuff today for some reason. I don't know why. And I know that this angle is probably gonna be off just a little bit, but you guys, y'all seen this before. You pretty much eyeballing the consistency. It's not about the amount, it's the consistency when you're bleaching your knots. It has to be like a thick paste just so that it doesn't, run through and then over process your knots or over bleach your knots, because then that's a hassle within itself to correct that. So I'm just going there and putting it all over the frontal. And actually this wig came like with lace all the way around, like almost like a 360, but not quite like a 360. You'll see it in the next clip once I shampoo and get all of the bleach off of the lace. But that's just pretty much it. The regular, bleach the knots. That's it. And make sure that when you're bleaching your knots that you're not pressing down. I know it may look like I'm pressing down and I'm like smudging the bleach in the lace, but I promise you I'm not. I'm literally like smoothing it on like you would do if you were like icing a cake. That's the amount of pressure that you should have. Like, you should be very light, so your consistency of your bleach should be able to still move around, but it should be thick enough that it doesn't just seep through the lace. Do not press down, because if you press down, you're going straight to the roots and you're going to have a task on your hands to correct. Now, as you can see, I didn't bleach the knots all the way around, just because I do not plan on putting this wig up in a ponytail or nothing like that. So I only did it just around the front, around the perimeter, the regular, the standard. But I definitely didn't do the back, because this is only 14 inches, sweetie. What we putting up? Oh, okay. Now I am just rinsing off that bleach again, guys. You have to, don't mind the angle, honey. I'm still getting used to this whole thing about my angles and what you can see and what you guys actually can't see. But all I'm doing right now is just rinsing off the bleach in warm water. Like, don't do hot, because you will, listen, just do warm. Warm always works best. I'm using the Shimmer Lights purple shampoo. That's just like the standard what everybody uses. It works just to take off like that brassiness that you'll get from bleaching your knots. So I'm just pretty much shampooing the wig, and I also decided just to tone the wig a little bit with the Shimmer Light shampoo as well, just because it had like a little yellowish little tint to it on the highlights, and I didn't like that look. So I was like, okay, well, since I'm already doing this, then I might as well just let it sit as well. So I just put the Shimmer Light shampoo over everything, the lace, the hair, the entire wig, covered it in the entire wig. I'm combing down all of the hairs to make sure everything is laying in one direction, just because I hate wigs where the hair is just all over the place, because it just creates a mess. So now I'm just going to let it sit and come back, rinsing it out. I'm using warm water to rinse it out. Those knots, they bleached perfectly, just the way that I needed them to. Rinsing this shampoo out, and then after the shampoo, the regular steps: condition hair. You should always condition your wigs. I'm using the Pantene Natural Conditioner. Just something that I know will work and keep the hair soft. Look at those colors, honey. Look at the highlights. They look amazing. When I'm rinsing out the conditioner, rinsing it in cold water, it doesn't matter if you're using a wig, you're using a clip-in extensions, your actual hair, your natural hair. You should always rinse out conditioner in cold water. It doesn't matter what it is, wig, whatever. Always use cold water. It seals the conditioner. Now I'm using the Got To Be gel just to gel my edges up for my braids. Let me tell you, I could have definitely made my braids a whole lot smaller, but I just didn't feel like it. Like it took me all day just to put these braids in. Like I didn't have any energy to. And don't mind the mess that you see in the background that's on my bed. I had to do my makeup prior to this, and you guys know I'm usually in my beauty room, my studio space, but today I was like, I just didn't feel like being in there. I wanted to be in my room and comfortable, so I just had to do everything in my room. So everything is like all over the place on my bed. Don't mind the craziness, but I'm doing the regular, cutting the holes on the stocking cap, pulling my ears out, making sure that everything fits. I'm going back in with the same Got To Be gel in the black bottle that I used to brush my edges back, putting that over the cap, and then I'm just going to spray the Got To Be spray and, you know, the regular steps. Let it dry, all of that. Now you want to make sure that when you're spraying that Got To Be that you stay directly where you intend on gluing your lace down, because if not, it would just turn into a whole white cast and it'll just be a mess. So make sure that when you spray the Got To Be, you're spraying directly above your hairline where you're going to be placing the glue. Now I'm just blow drying that. Now usually this is a step that I usually don't do, but this is just for video purposes. I usually just let it air dry, like however long that takes. Usually I just put my cap on, glue it down, and then I go about my business and I let it air dry. But today for the video I decided I'll just blow dry it and show you guys that you can blow dry your cap as well. I'm cutting off the excess right now, clipping all of that off, and you see where it looks like it's just still lifting. We're going to take care of that too, because that does happen. Now, when you're covering up and getting in order with that lace that's still lifting up, all you're going to do is take your Got To Be spray it directly in that area, and you're going to have to take your time with this and do it piece by piece, piece by piece. Spray, blow dry, use the end of your comb to press it down. But once it starts to get tacky, stop pressing down with your comb, because then all you'll do is just spread it and then you'll make it white and it'll just be a disaster. So spray, press it down with your red tail comb, and then once it starts to get tacky because you're drying it and you're using a blow dryer, stop pressing down with your comb. And you'll know when it's getting tacky, because like the comb will definitely like start to stick to it because you're using a blow dryer to dry it faster. So you're just going to spray in each individual area. Now I'm going in with I think my alcohol is 99%, but I don't really think it's 99%. I think that them people done like watered it down a little bit, because it doesn't give the same clean as 90%. But I just use the alcohol to clean around my perimeter. Of course, you got to clean off any excess makeup or anything like that. I took my foundation, put it inside the wig, and now I'm putting it on the wig cap. And then after this, I'm going to go back in again with the alcohol just to make sure that my skin is completely clear and clean of like any excess makeup or debris or anything like that, because if not, your glue will not stick, like your wig won't stay. I'm using the Ghost Bond glue. Now I just started using Ghost Bond glue again. For a long time I was using Bold Hold, and a glue that I absolutely swear by, Erica J's glue. You have got to, if y'all have not tried it, you have to try it. Like, all of her whole product line is a banger. Her whole product line, everything. Like, I ran out and I'm waiting for her to stock up again so that I can reorder. So for now, the Ghost Bond is gonna have to do. This is the Ghost Bond XL. It's supposed to be for like moisture control. So if you sweat and all of that stuff, that you should try this glue out. Y'all try it out and let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments down below. I'm not really too much of a fan of it. It's okay. It's alright. Like, it'll do if I don't have, or if I've ran out of like my staple products. But y'all try it out and let me know what you think. Now I know y'all probably wondering why I only put glue on one side. This is supposed to be a beginner friendly video, so I only did one side because it's always best to put your glue down on one side first and then go back and do the other side, just to make sure that you lay it correctly, because once you put it down in that glue, like, that's it. Like, there's no coming back, because if you lift it up, you're going to have a mess on your hands. Like, you're gonna have a mess on your hands. So beginner friendly. If this is your first time trying on yourself, I would always say work in sections. It's always best to work in sections, especially when you're working with glue. Work in sections. Like, you can never go wrong with working in a section at a time. So now I'm just laying the wig down, making sure that everything is placed. Now, this wig was really snug. Like, that's without using the combs, without using the straps in the back. Like, this wig was really snug. So I had to just make sure, like, it was definitely a good thing that I worked in sections, just so that I still could be in control of like my wig placement. Now I'm just going in and putting my 3 layers of glue. If I didn't say that previously, I'm doing 3 layers of glue. I always do 3 layers of glue just because it's just a comfort for me. I'm going in and putting it on the other side that I didn't glue down already, using a bowl hold, using the end of my red tail comb. I usually use popsicle sticks, but of course, once again, I'm not in my studio room right now. I'm in my bedroom, so I'm just using what I have on hand, because I just didn't feel like all that traveling back and forth to get everything. Now I'm using some Nairobi foam just to like get those flyaways in control around my lace, just to make sure everything is, you know how y'all know how I feel, everything got to be in one direction. Like, I can't do hair all over the place because you can't see what you're doing. And I'm using that foam just to get everything in place, lay everything back in one area. I'm pinning my hair up now because I'm about to use the melt belt, and I lay that around the lace just to tie it down, and I usually let it sit for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. That just helps to lay the lace, to melt it, honey. You want a melt, you got to lay that lace down. You have to. Now I'm going in and I'm cleaning up my part. You're going to see a lot of this Nairobi foam just because I love this foam. Like, it's not heavy. It doesn't make your hair hard and crunchy. It's really light, but it still gets the job done with laying down those hairs that have to be laid down. Using my hot comb. This is a old hot comb. I can't even tell you how long I've had it. I've had it for quite some time. You know, the plug-in one. And I'm going in and I'm just making sure that everything is laid down flat. We love a flat wig, honey. Has to be flat. These flat iron that I'm using, I got these from Amazon as well. They go up to $4.50. I have them on $4.50 right now, and they're okay, like pretty, like a basic flat iron. They get the job done when I need them to. I'll have those linked down below as well. I'll have everything that I use linked. I'll have either have links or just have the description of exactly what it is and where you can get it from. This wig actually came from Amazon. I'll have everything linked below, honey. Everything you need, check the description box. And once again, guys, do not mind the mess. I know y'all can see my makeup brushes and my camera bag and all kinds of stuff behind me, but I had to do everything in my room today. I just wanted to be in my room. I wanted to be comfy and cozy just in my room. Now I'm going in and I'm about to take that melt belt off, and you guys will look. Come on, yes. And when you're cutting off your lace, this is my first time cutting my lace off using shears in a very long time. I usually use an eyebrow razor just because it gives that jagged edge without me having to move my wrist back and forth. But when you're cutting off your lace, always make sure that you're cutting in a zigzag motion and not straight directly across, because it'll give you that round off, and nobody's hairline is round. Nobody. And I know that you guys, you see with that white cast will be coming off too. So one thing that I did that I usually don't do is I did my makeup beforehand. So now I'm just using some alcohol, that same alcohol that I used before, the 90%. I'm just going in and cleaning all of that excess off, cleaning that extra glue and makeup and all of that stuff, just to make sure that everything is cohesive. And that white cast, I promise you, it's really not there. Now for the fun part, some baby hairs, honey. Yes, ma'am. So sometimes I go in the direction of exactly like my hairline, and if I did have baby hairs, where they would probably be placed. But this time around, I decided to do something different. If you want your baby hairs to lay down and to stay laid down, you should always flat iron them or hot comb them down. That heat just gives you that extra stiffness without having to use too much product for it to lay down completely. I'm laying my baby hairs down with the Got To Be gel in the black bottle, the one that I've used pretty much like in the beginning of the video. This gives me a firm enough hold without making it super duper crunchy. Like I hate a crunchy baby hair. I promise you, because the glue eventually it wears off because it softens up, because it's not really glue, it's gel. And we all know gel, it'll stay hard or firm for quite some time, but after a while it'll lose the firmness and it'll still just stay in place. And this gives me the exact firm and hold that I need for my baby hairs to stay in place. Now I'm going in and I'm cleaning up my part. I'm a stickler about a middle part. Like, if we're doing the middle part, it has to be in the middle, because if it's not in the middle, like, it's just going to throw me off for the remainder of the day. Like, I'm going to be consistently looking at it. So I pretty much just use that Nairobi foam just to lay down those hairs, and I'm going in with my hot comb just to seal everything down. Like, that hot comb, honey, it gives you like that extra seal. That, like, get you a hot comb. If you do not have a hot comb, invest in one. Invest in one. I promise you, you won't regret it. Now I'm just going in and making sure that I just flat iron everything. I'm using my cheese serum. I love this. It just gives the hair extra shine. But be careful with using that cheese serum, because it's a serum, so it's thick. So you do not need a lot. A little goes a long way. You don't want your hair to be greasy and oily and very like weighed down. And that goes for like natural hair or a wig or anything like that. Now I'm trying to decide if a side part would be cute or if I should just stick with the middle part. And I ended up sticking with the middle part. And what I didn't add in this clip, any of these clips, was me actually creating more baby hairs. So right where that part is at the beginning of my part, I added more baby hairs right there, just because I just didn't like how it looked in the front. See, you can see where I added the extra baby hairs. I also cut in a little bit of layers just in the front, just so that it would just lay, because it just wasn't giving what I expected. And that's partially because of how thin it is. This wig is just 150 density. I'm used to 180, 250. I actually tend to make my wigs, so I always use like 4 bundles in a closure, 5 bundles in a closure. Sometimes, like one time I've used 6 bundles in a closure, because I love thick, full hair. And I think part of the thing that was throwing me off about this wig was just how thin it was. But other than that, this is the finished product, guys. I hope you like it. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Comment down below what you guys think. Send me some ideas of what I should do next.